Hey guys, it's Joe, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use reverb in Logic. I'll be showing you how to use Space Designer as it's a very good reverb and it's relatively easy to use. Reverb is used to make things sound more natural. It can be applied to instruments recorded in a controlled and dampened environment, as it's easier to record something with no natural reverb and apply it artificially compared to recording something in different spaces and seeing what sounds best. The best way to use reverb is to use it via a bus and apply different amounts to different channels. So to do this, we go to our send, create a new bus, and then create a reverb on our audio effects. We then also push the reverb up to the maximum. You then use this send here to choose how much reverb you want to send to your channel. This is a lot easier to do and makes the project look a lot tidier compared to putting reverb on each individual channel and changing the volume on each. So in Space Designer there are several parameters that determine how the reverb will sound. One of the main parameters is the volume envelope, which you control by dragging these two dots around here. Changing these will determine how loud the reverb will be and how long it will be at that volume for. So here, if they're both in the top right corner, this means that the reverb will be full-bodied and loud for the full duration of the reverb. Whereas if we drag them right down, it will be the opposite, so it will be full volume at the start and die off very quickly and be quiet for the rest of the duration. You can use this to shape the reverb into how you want it to sound. The other parameters are length, which is quite self-explanatory. This determines how long the reverb will last for. You have the EQ. You can use this to cut or boost frequencies off the reverb. It's good to cut out a lot of the low end, usually around a 10 dB cut from 200 below, as it makes it sound tidier, and then a boost in the high end of again around 10 decibels between 2 to 5k to make things sound a bit brighter. The pre-delay. This sets the time between the original signal and the first reflections of the reverb. By knowing what these main parameters do, you can then start to create your own reverbs and see what different settings work best with different sounds. I tend to find a preset I quite like and then adjust it to make it more precise to what I want opposed to a more general reverb. As I'm sure you've noticed in the Space Designer presets, there are several different types of reverbs. I'll just explain each of them briefly and tell you what they work best with. Halls. This replicates a large space where a lot of instruments would be playing, so a music hall. This is used for full sections of instruments, so strings, brass, etc. It's also good if you want a generic large reverb that has a very long decay, usually between 1 and 4 seconds. Chamber. Similar to Hall but a smaller space, it provides more clarity in comparison, so it can be used with the same instruments but it will make things sound clearer and closer. It's usually between 0.5 and 1.5 seconds. Room. Even smaller still, usually between 0.2 and 1 seconds, consists of a lot of quick echoes and then a quick decay. It's used a lot in rock, so suits guitars, basses and drums very well. Plate. Plate reverb is actually a man-made sound. I won't go into it too much, but it's basically a metal plate that vibrates when a sound wave hits it and then creates a reverb. Plate reverbs work very well with vocals and percussion. Spring. It's similar to the plate as it's man-made and uses transducers to produce and receive the sound waves via the spring. It's been very famously used in the Fender twin reverb amp and Hammond organs, so it suits guitars and organs very well, and it also works well with vocals. When using reverb, some types suit certain sounds better than others, as well as some lengths. So shorter reverbs suit quicker sounds as it will die off quicker and won't sound cluttered. It works well on drums and other percussion instruments. Longer reverbs suit whatever's playing the underlying chords, so this includes pads, strings and brass. Using different lengths also helps with the instrument's placement in the mix, so longer reverbs will make it sound like the instruments are towards the back, and the shorter reverbs will make it sound like the instruments towards the front. Reverb is one of the most important aspects of production in that it brings all the separate parts together and makes everything sit where you want it to. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions please leave a comment or contact me via my website. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.